So hello and welcome to this video in which we'll be looking at the questions and solutions of a reading comprehension exercise from CAT 23 slot 3. I have discussed the reading of this passage in a previous video as to what we are supposed to take away as information from the passage after finishing reading it. So watch that video before you look at the solutions of the questions of this exercise. This passage was fairly a difficult read, not a simple read, not simple to understand, but with a very surface level understanding of what the passage is about. Let's see, can we still do justice to the questions or not? So let me start with question number one. Question number one says, according to the romantics, aesthetics is what? And if you remember, it's been given inside the passage that romantics refute aesthetics as a separate concept. They believe that aesthetics is involved in every single aspect of life. Even in ordinary men and women's lives, whatever they do in their daily lives, some kind of aesthetics is present. So to talk about aesthetics as beauty and art as a separate domain of life is what they don't agree with. So let's see which option gives credence to that opinion. Now, A says is widely considered to be irrelevant to human existence. Actually, the opposite of it. The romantics believe that they're very much relevant to every single aspect of human existence. So A can be easily eliminated. B says permeates all aspects of human life, philosophical and mundane. This is probably going to be the correct answer because this is what the romantics have told us about aesthetics. C says should be confined to a specific domain separate from the practical and theoretical aspects of life. This is what the romantics do not agree with. That's why C is not the correct answer. Absolutely the opposite of whatever is written in the passage. D says is primarily the concern of philosophers and artists rather than of ordinary people. Again, the romantics are saying that aesthetics are a part of ordinary people's life. So D is also not the correct answer. So despite the passage being difficult to read, question number one is extremely easy. If we go back to the passage and read that one single line carefully as to what they believe aesthetics is, then easy to mark option B as a correct answer. So question number one, I'll deem as an easy question. Coming to question two, two says which one of the following statements is not supported by the passage, something which is not supported by the passage. So option A, let's read one by one the options. A says, recent studies on romanticism seek to refute the differences between national romanticisms. Actually, this might be the answer because the recent studies are not trying to refute that there is differences between different nations. In fact, in the last paragraph, it's been said that they want to focus on Germany primarily because they acknowledge that British and French romanticism are different. But they don't want to talk about romanticism from a specific location's perspective. They want to talk about romanticism more in a general perspective by answering philosophical questions around it. So A might be the correct answer because it's not being supported in the passage. Let's read C, B, C, and D just to confirm. B says romantic aesthetics are primarily expressed through fragments, aphorisms, and poems given in the passage directly. Many romantics rejected the idea of aesthetics as a domain separate from other aspects of life given in the passage directly, which is why we have marked B as a correct answer in question number one. D says characterizing romantic aesthetics is both possible and desirable despite the challenges involved. Author directly states this in the very first line of the second to last paragraph. So that's why D is not the correct answer. So only option which is not supported in the passage is option A. So definitely answer to 2 is also is A, and question number 2 is that's why also an easy question. Very simple to eliminate the remaining options. Let's look at question 3. 3 says the main difficulty in studying romanticism is, okay, let's see what has been written in the options. A says absence of written accounts by romantic poets and artists. Written accounts are absolutely present. Romantic poets and artists have written a lot. Maybe they have not written specifically about romanticism or have not defined it properly. But written accounts are not present is too absolute. That's why A we can eliminate. B says elusive and suggestive nature of romantic aesthetics. Maybe this can be the correct answer because this has been given as a challenge as well. That because the poets have written about aesthetics in a very aphoristic and in a very poetic fashion. So it's very elusive and suggestive rather than being concrete. So B can be the answer. So let's hold on to B. C says controversial and scandalous history of romantic literature. Nowhere given in the passage. That's why C is not the correct answer. D says lack of clear conceptual contours of the domain. So D also looks like the correct answer because D is more or less saying what B is saying as well. So among these, which will be the more correct answer? So for that, again, read the question. The question is asking us about the main difficulty. And if you read C and D carefully, B and D carefully, B says elusive and suggestive nature of romantic aesthetics. Now see, when the author is mentioning these two adjectives, elusive and suggestive nature, he's not talking about the fact that romantic aesthetics are elusive and suggestive. He's saying that the way that they have developed theoretical accounts, the way that the poets have written the theoretical accounts of romantic aesthetics is elusive and suggestive. Not that romantic aesthetics itself is elusive and suggestive. The way that it's been written about is suggestive, is what the passage says. And that is why B is the less possibly correct answer. And because the main challenge is not B but D, that's why D is the correct answer. This is what the author is saying from the very beginning, that there is no single definition, there is no proper understanding of what is romanticism. Aesthetics is also involved in every single aspect of life and not defined separately. Plus, it has been written in a very elusive and suggestive fashion. So a very concrete contour, concrete definition of what this domain is all about has not been mentioned in the passage or mentioned anywhere in history. That's what is the main challenge, and that's why D is the correct answer. B is very confusing though. So because elimination of options is not very easy, I will call this question moderate to difficult for sure. But only if you mark B as the wrong answer. If you mark A or C as the wrong answer, then you have actually not done a good enough job of thinking about the question or going back to the passage well enough. All right, coming to question 4. 4 says, according to the passage, recent studies on romanticism avoid a single definition, a specific time or specific place because they. See, when a sentence or a phrase is quoted from the passage, it's always suggested that you go back to the passage and read what exactly has been given around that particular statement. And that statement is given here. Such studies attempt to characterize romanticism not in terms of a single definition, a specific time, or a specific place, but in terms of particular philosophical questions and concerns. Let's read one line before it. Instead of overlooking the undeniable differences between the variety of romanticisms of different nations that Lovejoy had stressed. So instead of looking at differences of different nations, we are trying to not define romanticism and romantic aesthetics using a single definition of a specific time or of a specific place, but rather to answer some particular philosophical questions around it. This is why the sentence has been written. Let's see which option is communicating more or less the same point. A says prefer to highlight the paradox of romantic aesthetics. Now, this has been written in the second paragraph, whereas this line is in the second to last paragraph. So this is contextually not related to the quoted sentence. That's why A is not the correct answer. It's given in the passage, but it is not related to whatever the sentence here, the quoted sentence here in the question is saying. That's why A we can eliminate. B seeks to discredit Lovejoy's skepticism regarding romanticism. Kind of mentioned in that sentence. If I say go back to that sentence, it says that we are not looking to overlook the undeniable differences between the variety of romanticism of different nations that Lovejoy had stressed. But Lovejoy just stressed this. We are not trying to prove that Lovejoy is wrong. So we are saying that, okay, instead of whatever Lovejoy is stressing on, we are looking at a different thing. So it's not to discredit Lovejoy. They are accepting that there is differences between nations when it comes to romanticism. It is undeniable, has been mentioned in that sentence. So no one is trying to discredit Lovejoy's theory. That's why B is not the correct answer. C says, understand that the variety of romanticism renders a general analysis impossible. Probably, maybe we can say that that's why they are not trying to have a single definitions or specific time or specific place, because there are so many variety of romanticisms involved. Has been said in that sentence, so C can be the answer. D says, prefer to focus on fundamental concerns of romantics. Fundamental concerns is what? Specific concerns has been written in the passage. Specific philosophical questions has been written in the passage. So maybe D can be the answer. Now among C and D, again, this question can get a bit confusing. Among C and D, if we read again the options very carefully, you'll find that in C, there's an absolute word here given which says general analysis impossible. Now, general analysis is not impossible. Analysis is very much possible. It's very much possible to talk about or to understand what is romantic aesthetics has been given inside the passage by the author. So that's why C we can eliminate. The author is only saying that we will have to look at studying it from a different perspective. And the perspective is mentioned in D, and that's why D is the correct answer for 4. So because again, options are a bit difficult to eliminate, I will say this is a moderate level difficulty question, but I'll still say it's easier than question 3. I think a 99 percentile in VARC should get 3 out of 4 correct, despite 2 questions being slightly of a moderate level difficulty. 2 out of 4 I would still expect everyone to get correct, even in a passage which is this difficult to read. See, it's because of instances like these that I tell people to not leave a reading comprehension exercise just because it feels difficult to read in the very first go. Because majority of the time, without even understanding the passage in a great level of depth, by having a very superficial surface level understanding of the passage, you might be able to solve 2 or 3 questions. So why leave that opportunity and let that opportunity go of getting ahead of the curve, of getting ahead of your competition? So read the passage, give it a chance. Maybe the questions are easy, maybe the options are very easily eliminatable, and this particular exercise is a clear example of it. Easily, people can get 2 out of 4 questions correct. If they leave the remaining questions unattempted, they can get as much as 6 marks or at least a +4 to your total score. You can add even from a passage which is as difficult to read as this one. All right. Thank you.